Last week's video was all about the best handyman jobs. This week's video is the worst handyman jobs, and I've compiled this list based on my own experience in my handyman business. Conversely, the criteria I use to rank these jobs are least profitable, less enjoyable, and least return on investment of your time and energy. So let's jump in. First up on our list are wood rot repair jobs. These jobs include wood trim repair, siding repair, just generally repairing wood on the exterior of a customer's home. Now, these jobs are just not fun to do. There's typically always more rot than what's presented on the surface. So when you start in on the job and you peel back the layers, typically there's more rot. And hopefully it hasn't worked its way into the structural components of the home. But at that point, you kind of have to stop what you're doing and then go tell your client, hey, we got some more rot. Do you want to increase the scope of work? So essentially, it just costs you more time and the customer more money. The other thing about this job is that the repairs aren't straightforward. There's still a little bit of guesswork in terms of how you're going to make the repair. And these types of repairs are more complicated. They're time consuming, and you need to be more skilled to make a good repair so that it blends in with the piece of trim or siding. And typically I use epoxy to set up or fill a hole where there was rotted wood, and then I go back and I sand it flush and then paint it. But it's just messy and there's a lot more to it. Next up on our list of worst handyman jobs are messy jobs. Now these include jobs where you're tiling, painting, or doing drywall repair, for example. No offense to anybody working specifically in these trades, but for me, anything involving mixing chemicals, mixing paint, mixing up mud to coat drywall, or things like that just are a pain in the butt. Now I actually like doing small drywall repairs, and small being the key word there. I like the kind of art of making the drywall as flat and as smooth as possible, but what I don't like so much is the sanding portion of it, especially if you're doing a repair on the ceiling and you get a sand, the dust is coming down right on you. So at that point, I gotta break out the respirator, wear the goggles, and it's just a lot of headgear to wear while you're doing a job. And because these jobs are messy, there's more prep work that you have to do. So a large portion of your time is spent, taping the walls if you're painting, laying down X-board, things like that to keep the customer's home clean. And then at the end of the job, you got to clean all that up, and hopefully that was enough of a barrier to not get any material chemical on the customer's home. And if there is, then you got to go back and clean it. So the prep work itself and then the cleanup afterwards is just more of a hassle. Last up on our list of worst handyman jobs are large installations or new construction. Now by definition, a handyman handles small repairs and installations around the home. But not every one of your client requests are going to be small jobs. And it's up to you to decide what you want to take on. Sometimes you may have to take on a larger job just to secure more work and make more money. But I try to avoid larger jobs or strategically take on larger jobs when the season is winding down, like in the fall or the winter. And the reason I don't like larger jobs is because typically the larger the job, the less you make per hour. And on larger jobs, there's just generally more headaches because there's more job details, more materials, more things that could go wrong. So overall, it creates more stress. So between last week's video on the best handyman jobs and this week's video, my message is to determine what you value and then go from there. Do you prefer jobs where you maximize your dollar per hour? Or do you like larger jobs knowing that you have more secure work? Or is money less valuable to you and you want to only focus on jobs that you enjoy doing most? Now, if you're just starting out, you might not have much of a choice in terms of what jobs you can take, and you'll take what you can get, which is normal. But as your business grows, you'll have more choice, and then you can kind of pick and choose what you most enjoy doing. Personally, I like a balance, so I choose jobs that I can make some money on, but also that I can look forward to. Well, that wraps up this video of the worst handyman jobs. Be sure to comment below and let me know what you think of this list. Do you agree that these jobs aren't ideal? What jobs do you dislike doing most? If you haven't already, be sure to check out my other video on the best handyman jobs. Until next time, take care and be well.